The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Microsoft Azure. Turn your ideas into reality with an Azure free account. Get everything you need to develop apps across cloud and hybrid environments, scale workloads, create cloud-connected mobile experiences, and so much more. Discover what you can create with popular services free for 12 months. Learn more at azure.com. That's AZURE.com. And sign up for a free account to start building in the cloud today.
We don't know how to do this.
You guys are doing a great job.
There's no sincerity in that.
I can hear your voice breaking with laughter. Kia ora, welcome along to a very special edition of The Real Pod. We're a two-person team today, and I am sweating bullets. Our pod mum is on leave, so it's just myself and Duncan Grieve. How you doing, Dunk?
I'm surviving. I'm missing Jane terribly. No, just no offence to you, but
no, it's fine.
We really lose our shape. Without pod
Duncan
mum.
has printed out a sheet of hyperlinks by way of preparation for this almighty podcast. This is The Real Pod, where we talk about, what do we talk about? Real news, real bits, and real life in New Zealand. We've also got a Treasure Island recap pod. I'm trying to do the housework. What is it called? The housekeeping. Fuck!
Housework is good.
I do need to do the housework as well. Facebook.com/The Real Pod Corner is where we all live. It's where the cornies are. Fuck!
It's facebook.com/groups/The Real Pod Corner, which is not what I said on the previous podcast. There's definitely a /groups in there.
I think just have fun with it until you get somewhere, and that's where you were meant to be, you know? And at the moment, no one can do anything because Facebook's down and Instagram's down, and we're just finding our way through that. This could be our new reality.
I mean, I would love that. Like, I'm just looking at the site's traffic, and it's chef's kiss.
Is it?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing what happens to the internet when Facebook disappears. I would absolutely take a no Facebook world over a Facebook world based on this morning's evidence.
Maybe we just need to keep it down.
Yeah. Well, I'll get our CTO Ben to look into that.
Get into it. All right. Should we get into the real news? And then does a sting happen there? I think a sting happens there, right?
Leave that in.
I don't listen to this podcast. I don't know.
How dare you? Don't leave that in. That's disloyal.
Man jogs in funny shapes during lockdown. This is a lovely story out of Radio New Zealand. 72-year-old Aucklander Robert Chen has taken to running different trail marks during lockdown, and he's done some gorgeous wee shapes, including a map of Australia, Godzilla, a penguin, the South Island, and North Island in a mirror. Very inspirational. I know that you're a runner, Duncan. Have you ever gone for a wee shape?
No, I just run a big, boring square, and I've been like almost masochistically doing the exact same run every second day. I'm doing this thing, and I don't know if I'm doing it to protect myself or destroy myself psychologically. It seems to be doing both, where everything is the same every day. Like, I don't move anything, and it seems to be doing something. But I really admire this man. Also, 72-year-old, just
incredible.
Even just being alive, that's aspirational for me at that age. So, and you have to get like some reasonable distances to be able to create these shapes. So good on Robert Chen.
I saw that Anika Moore, who's also taken up running recently, has she ran, I think, at Cornwall Park or something, and ran women's genitalia shape.
That rocks.
I'm really into this big new trend. It's almost enough to make me think about setting foot outside. But not yet.
Joe runs, so can't you just like put your phone on him and just give him a real specific course, you know? That feels like, so you're the creative director, but you don't have to do any of the actual running or walking.
Yeah, that's true. Could get him to run the real pod through Mount Eden.
He would love that.
I'll check it. I'll see if he's got that special app. Do we want to talk about COVID?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to talk about the levels and the confusion? It's just occurred to me. I'm talking to the CEO of Shiwi soon. As a result of one of the many points of confusion that came out yesterday regarding our 10-person outdoor gatherings and whether or not people could go inside to use the toilet. And I'm still not feeling particularly clear on many of the rules.
It's quite amazing how, so just a bit of background, Leonie Hayden, the Spin-Off Arts editor, and Alex's former On The Rag RIP co-host, asked a question on Slack about whether you're allowed to go inside to go toilet on your sort of your picnic in the outside hang, which immediately was picked up by Justin Giovanetti, our bulletin editor in the gallery, who asked it of, I think, Ashley Bloomfield, who gave a different answer to Jacinda Ardern, our Prime Minister. And it was just one of those, like, on one level it's just funny and small, on another it does speak to the kind of just, but this is just more of a vibe than a sort of, than an actual pronouncement. So tomorrow will be fun.
It's still, Bloomfield said it's okay to go inside as long as it's not all 10 of you going to the toilet at once. Sometimes situations happen.
They really do.
Keep your food covered and keep your rice chilled. That's all I'm saying.
How are you? What was your response to yesterday? Like, I found that I enjoyed it. Like I was like, okay, this is not a lot, but it's enough for me. And I'm kind of I know we're going into something different and strange, but I can kind of, and I know that this should be like the sort of the best version of this would be a lot more kind of knowable, but I kind of I could live with it. I don't know. What was your emotional response?
I'm just not chomping at the bit to go and have a picnic at the moment. I don't know. I was just talking to a lot of my friends who, live in flats and are still really confused about if you've got 5 different people in a flat who all have different friend groups, do you all get to go out at once and spend time with different bubbles, or do you get to go once a day? And if so, like, what's the time frame there and why? And does it really matter? Because if you go to a bubble and someone's got COVID and you bring it back, I don't know.
Oh, it's like extremely unclear on all those fronts. But I guess my sense of it was, This was stuff people were going to start cherry picking rules that they were going to flex on anyway. So what they've done is just said, here's the one that you can get a bit flexy on. Whatever, so long as you're outside, it's basically okay. And I was like, well, that seems the most sensible of all of the terrible options in front of us. So that's that's where I'm at.
There's going to be a lot of public drinking.
That was I remember reading a story in New York Magazine last year, which had this survey of 100 New Yorkers and sort of the kind of cool parts of the city. And it seemed like public drinking in parks was the only thing that anyone did. It was like a massive cultural phenomenon, and it made it sound really fun. I don't know if we're quite there yet, but maybe there's just a new culture rising, and maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine.
Are you saying New Zealand's about to develop a drinking culture?
It's more about relocating its drinking culture.
Right. A chicken went for a walk in Dunedin, Duncan. Not only did it go for a walk, it went for a walk strangely close to the Big Valley takeaways in Kaikorai Valley. And there's a great photo of it on the Otago Daily Times. That's the whole story.
I quite love that New Zealand is still small enough that this is a story, and that we have enough journalists that this kind of thing does not go tragically unreported or stay just on social media.
And the journalist is just asking the question, hard to say whether this chicken is looking for food or trouble. To me, it looks like trouble. This chicken looks a lot... I don't know if you're familiar with the YouTube video Militant Rooster, one of my favourite YouTube videos, of a rooster just furiously marching through a car park. And it's really old and it's really blurry. And it reminds me a lot of the attitude of this chicken. So do go check it out.
I will check it out. Militant Rooster just 100% is what I aspire to when I'm Buck's age as a vibe for me.
There's been more hectic animal news in Dunedin. Lucky ducks. Lucky ducks. Stuck in a grate. Rescued using a face mask, no less. Is that safe? I guess you do what you got to do.
When there's two tiny ducklings in a drain, you've got to improvise.
You've got to breach.
Yeah.
What's happening to the birds down there, eh?
There's birds everywhere.
God, I wish this was the news we were dealing with in Auckland.
That's very true. I remember you were talking about a story that I don't think we ever actually became a story, about the birds just absolutely putting on a show and not giving an F about life. Because I noticed it so strongly and still continue to, and it's probably my favourite joy of lockdown is watching the just massively emboldened birds. Speaking of chickens, we also have amongst the bird life of Mount Albert is some chickens that are just having a good old squawk next door, and I'm real into it.
Can you have that?
Yeah.
In suburbia?
It's chickens, yeah.
Ah, not roosters. Do you get eggs from the neighbours?
Not in... We don't have that kind of relationship yet, but I don't think it's inconceivable that we might develop one. I think you can even... I would like to know, probably Cornies do already, what is... It's like, can you have a goat? I feel like you can have lambs. I think there's more that you're allowed than we... like you can get broader with your menage.
Who had a pig? Andrew Jury had a pig on maths, remember?
So that's clearly fine. Cow?
Funny farm. Just get a farm going.
Is it like Chevy Chase movie?
I don't know. It's just lifestyle. More bird news. Kelly Tarleton's penguins still hooking up after 24 years. Happy anniversary to Buster in 99, which sounds like a secret agent, who are now marking 24 mating seasons and over 19 penguin kids together.
I feel like humans should mark their relationships by number of mating seasons.
It's just a lovely story. A lot of bird news. Actually, basically a bird pod.
Which goes to your thesis.
The birds are having a moment.
Taking advantage.
Should we have a break?
Yeah, let's have a break.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spinoff. As we find ourselves navigating a new outbreak and lockdown, everyone here at The Spinoff remains committed to bringing you quality independent journalism, which, of course, includes our coverage of COVID-19. It's not an exaggeration to say we couldn't do this work without the generous support of our members. So, if you'd like to help us keep Aotearoa informed, please visit thespinoff.co.nz/members for more details and to donate today.
Welcome back to this. I'm not even going to call it a podcast.
Won't even dignify it.
In the break, we just had to sense check with Aihe if we were doing okay, and he sounded like he was laughing while he said you're doing fine.
Not laughing in a good way, like I'm enjoying your podcast, like I'm lying, I'm lying, but we just have to go along with this.
Do we decide are we going to do real life?
Yeah. You have to tell me about your life and how it's all going.
Okay, well, I have basically nothing to report apart from the fact that Joe bought me a ukulele.
Was this unprompted or prompted?
It was semi-prompted. I've been asking for one for a while, but I have this increasing concern that I am losing my mind. Like, not in a way that, like, I can't remember anything, and I feel like I need to be doing something different with my brain to, like, rewire it in a certain way. So, because I forgot the word for banana the other day, and it's just like, it's tough times for me. It's tough times for me. So I've been learning how to play that again. About 10 years too late, to join the ukulele, the bandwagon. Yeah,
that's really. I feel like you've found the most that's really out of time. Good on you, but you probably got a bargain.
Yeah, true. A lot of dead stock.
Dead stock ukulele around.
Aside from that, I've got some Masked Mountaineer clues again this week. Duncan, I don't know if you've ever been here for the Masked Mountaineer.
I know of the concept, though.
Okay. These two clues have both come from Joe, because I have not gone outside for a while. So these are cryptic clues regarding prominent New Zealanders that we have seen on Mount Eden.
And do I guess, or do the cornies guess?
The first time we did it was for cornies. Cornies, you can play along if you want, but Duncan, you can guess if any of these sound familiar. First cryptic clue: I thought he'd be at home making arrows. At least Vaughan's not here.
Fletch?
You hit the nail on the head.
Boom.
You hit the nail on the head.
That felt like a relatively easy one for the Real Pod reality universe.
Yeah, the Vaughan was a dead giveaway. Next one. Look at that. A penis driving the magic school bus.
Wow, that's good writing. I have nothing on that.
Okay, cornies, it's up to you. Email me, alex@thespinoff.co.nz, and I will organise a prize for the first person who's correct. Look at that, a penis driving the magic school bus.
To be clear, the prize is not any of our pirate gold.
They don't know about that yet, Duncan.
Oh, God. I never can figure out. We've got to start recording it in order.
Yeah, it's very confusing. Real bits. Hilary Barry promised 7 Sharp viewers this week that she was going to send a chocolate fish to everyone who got vaccinated over the weekend. I saw her announce this on Instagram, or post a clip on Instagram, and I was really enjoying the comments of a lot of people going, it'll melt by the time it gets to me.
That is a really good, solid TVNZ1 viewer's response.
Or just don't really like chocolate fish.
That's crazy.
What do you think of that? I wonder how many. So she said if you send me a photo of you holding your little card with the date to info@7sharp or whatever, she will ensure they get shipped out. I wonder what the impact of that would have been.
Well, so the total number of plausible vaccinations will be about 15,000, because we're doing about 7,000 first doses a day. 7 Sharp reaches about roughly 1 in 10 New Zealanders a day. I'm going to say that obviously there's potential for it to, the virus of knowing about this competition to spread through social media during the times when social media is available on the internet. I think it's in the low hundreds. That's
wow.
I've just done some modelling. And that's my prediction.
Duncan handy.
That's right. But I would say that's the people who have cashed in the ability to get it. But the people who actually got it extra, I reckon in the high dozens, and that's worth it.
Yeah.
Based on my modelling.
I wonder, do you think it will be Hilary herself packing up these chocky fish?
Honestly, as someone who has had the extraordinary luxury of spending a day drinking beer with Hilary Barry, I would say yes. she's just such a lovely, like she just loves getting amongst, you know? She made us a whole bunch of cheese on toast for no reason, didn't need to, you know?
Yeah.
For me and the photographer. So, and it just very much didn't feel like an affectation. It felt like she was hungry and wanted to be a nice host. And so I can't imagine her being like production assistant, grab the email addresses and flick it on. I feel like she'd just enjoy getting in there, just chucking them in envelopes, having a lovely time.
I'd actually love a chocolate fish now after all of this. Do you remember when they released the chocolate fish? Actually, Cornies, get in touch, Alex at thespinoff.co.nz as well about this. When they made a chocolate fish ice block,
No.
like ice cream on a stick, and it was a big chocolate fish and it had a layer of marshmallow and then vanilla ice cream and it was covered in chocolate, and they discontinued it because the marshmallow kept clogging the pipes.
Okay, two things. One, this is banana all over again, and this is just not a real thing. Two, what about the clogging the pipes?
Well, I think just the marshmallow, it would keep solidifying, and it became just
the manufacturing pipes.
A manufacturing nightmare.
I was thinking it was the other
TikTok.
end of the whole.
Well, probably that too. If you ate, what is a marshmallow? I don't think anyone knows.
Certainly, no one listening to this podcast.
What else? Suzanne Paul. Is this a bit?
I don't think. No, this isn't okay.
Suzanne Paul's all good.
Well, yeah.
She fainted on a Zoom call, but has since popped up on the AM show twice in the same Zoom. Feels like it's about to happen to me. But she's all good now. Don't worry, everybody. And finally, just like Samantha Hayes. It was Maddie McLean's birthday. He was on his morning walk, and the breakfast team surprised him with some penis donuts, which I haven't actually seen yet. And I can't open Facebook because Facebook's down to look at them. So we can only imagine the filth of these donuts.
That just seems like a lot of raunch for what must be the most family show of them all in that time slot.
I think it just continues to speak to the maybe one day they should do like the big switch and put breakfast on at
Breakfast after dark.
9 till 12 or something.
The late night big breakfast.
Like you late. Oh my god.
I would actually love to see TV basically breakfast merge with late night big breakfast for some kind of very special episode. I feel like their sensibilities are kind of getting closer and closer together. And it also feels very much in range for the current way that breakfast is just kind of just having fun with it, Just having so much fun. I can barely keep up with their dancers now. They must be doing mostly dance prep in their production meetings. It's one thing that TVNZ is it seems instructive that two of those three real bits are on TVNZ's current affairs shows. Like they seem to have understood that their national role while we're in lockdown is to just do weird stuff to try and distract us from our reality. And good on them. That's just great strategy.
They've done a really good job. Is there anything else you want to add to this news bulletin, Duncan?
No, I think that we've covered everything very comprehensively.
Thank you all for sticking with us. So sorry. Everything will be fine next week. Jade will be back and
be level 1.
All will be restored. We'll be in step 3.45. Carry the 1. And it's all good. Thank you, Duncan.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Te Aihe. Thank you, Tara Ward, for helping us with all of this illustrious bird news. Thank you, Cornies, for just sticking with us through over these years, through the pandemic. We need this, if I'm honest. Just 100%. We don't get time to hang out and chat, apart from on this podcast. That's bleak but true. And genuinely, Facebook's still dead. Oh, no, Facebook's back. Facebook's back. No. It's back. What a journey. But being able to, I have tuned back into the Real Pod Corner, and it really makes my day every day. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of whatever the hell this is. I'm going to go now before I start crying. Thank you all for listening. Everything will be fine. Bye.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
The Spin-Off Podcast Network.